Here we go. You're live. We're live. We're live around the world. What's up? How's it going, fellas? All right. We are going to run through. Big update just dropped on Teleport here today. So for anybody who's new, Teleport is the print service that anybody can use that gives you access to our machines in our print farm. So it's like having 1,000 3D printers on tap because the main mega farm spec'd out for 3,000. But the what we're going to do is we just released catalog. So anyone can now submit their files inside of Teleport for other people to start selling. Will receive a royalty from the sale of any prints of those designs products. So that is now live over there in Teleport. I actually will probably put it here. Let me do a refresh. Let me see if it's live here. I haven't checked it this morning since the guys deployed that update. But let me go ahead and see, and we'll see what we can do here. Catalog details. There we go. File options. Wait. Let me go pot that up. There we are. Nice. Okay. Right here. Files. Okay. Let me send a quick message here. I'm sorry, YouTube. I'm gonna get you guys knocked off to the other side. Okay, there we go. Hopefully I didn't kill the YouTube stream. I don't think I killed. Oh, I killed the YouTube stream. Sorry about that, guys. I'm back. Sorry about that. What's up, Drylander? How's business? Teleport crossed 10,000 businesses using it the other day, which was a great milestone. So 10,000 businesses who all have 1,000 printers available to grow their 3D printing business. That's a pretty cool milestone. Yeah, that's pretty sick milestone. But yeah, so this is a lunch and learn. I'm going to eat lunch. You guys can learn, and we'll see what we can do there. Yeah, it is really sick. That user milestone is one that we have been working on for a while, and hopefully we can double it again here this year. So we're pushing as fast as we can. What's up, 50 Nichols? I apologize that I'm going to eat on this, guys, but it is lunch, and then we're going to cut this off definitely at 1, if not sooner. So I'm gonna work. I'm multitasking. Oh, what else? Holy cow! We got all kinds of people here. Hello from France, Mr. Rick. Hello. How's it going? You running something over in France? Does Teleport do print pause for different layer color? You can. Yeah, in the enterprise tier and stuff, you can do print pause and change and that kind of stuff. Just hired my first person on Upwork to revise my Amazon listings, hoping they can do what I need. Oh, 50 Nichols, that's a good idea. You should also, quite frankly, ChatGPT may be as good, if not better, of an option. So do run down the AI solutions. If you have baseline copy right now, it can format it in a way that's useful for you. So that's a thing to be aware of. Yeah. Ooh, but how do you keep going when you have lost everything in life? So I've done that. Right here, below here is a poem called If by Rudyard Kipling. I highly recommend reading that if you're down in the dumps. If you can, let's see here. Actually, what stanza is it in? If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and soul hold on when there is nothing in you, except the will which says to them, hold on. And then it continues on and then says, yours, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and what is more, you'll be a man, my son. Kipling fought in World War I, and he wrote these poems to send back to his son. And it's a very, very good poem for keeping yourself bucked up, because when you're at the bottom, there's no place to go but up, but you have to find the strength to continue on going. And that's just what you got to do. Are you guys going to make Amazon like website for 3D prints? We kind of did. Portals let you do that. You can upload a model to Portals, and then it's for sale. So you can start selling products over there if you want to. Used a lot of ChatGPT for my current listings, but I've hit my skill limit. ChatGPT should push you beyond your skill limit. Tell it to be a master copywriter for Amazon, and then it'll write it how you want it. What else do you guys want to talk about? Yeah, if you're using AI appropriately, it shouldn't be your skill limit. The AI is as valuable as the question that you're able to ask of it. So it's really a question of, can you be curious and can you identify what your bottleneck is, and then appropriately describe that bottleneck to an AI so that it can then help you solve it. I've been in 3D printing field since 15 years, but never thought of running a business. Oh, Mr. Rick. Nice. Well, if you've got models, you should. I mean, like with Teleport, you can just upload the models and then start selling them. What advice would you give to someone trying to start a 3D printing business? Start. Go. Start doing something. That is what you do. Starting up a business is like, what advice would I give to somebody who wants to be a professional athlete? Well, you better start throwing a ball and working out every day. This is just part of what you need to do. There is no real secret to business. There's no shortcuts. There's no magic plan. Everybody always is kind of looking for the solution. I do that too. And you look for solutions to particular tactical problems, but the action of operating a business is showing up every day and doing it. So just go do it. Go start something. It's not the copy so much, but creating the A+ content and image editing. Image editing can also be done in ChatGPT. Take a cruddy cell phone photo of the product and then say, turn this into an Amazon A+ listing photo. We have that. If you go to the 3D printing subreddit, it's our 3D print entrepreneurs. If you go over there and then into the wiki, there's a resources page, and it has a product photography GPT that will render your product in a nice product category area. So go ahead and use that, and that'll help you with a bunch of those photos. If you said that the US accounts for 30% of all 3D printed objects globally, of the 30%, what is by individuals versus companies versus corporate? I don't think I said that. The US accounts, the US will generally the US accounts for about 30% of the global economy, maybe even more. We may be as much as 40%. As far as what that distribution is of 3D printed parts, that is all over the place, because the consumer market and the industrial market varies by the category. So yeah, the consumer product in general, if you can make a consumer product, that's what you want to do. Consumer products are just wildly valuable, and there's way more consumers than there are companies. But companies have a single larger individual check. So that's why you might sell over there, because you can sell them 1,000 parts, or you can sell 1,000 individuals one part. What's up, Data Plumber? Where are you at? Where are you coming from? Where's everybody coming from? Who have we got? We're going to have a bunch of people from Michigan. We're probably going to have somebody from Arizona and California. And then we generally get Brazil. Do we have anybody from Brazil here? Where else is everybody coming from? 30% seems about right. Since the tariffs blocked de minimis from EU, we lost about that much revenue. Oh, BBK. If you're going to connect to Teleport right now, it gets you around the tariffs. So if you're running, BPK Dasbaum. Oh, Portugal. You're in Portugal. You should connect to Teleport. If you lost 30% of your revenue because of tariffs, you need to connect to Teleport, because Teleport allows the parts to be produced inside the United States for US customers. So you no longer have international shipping and you no longer have tariff expenses at all. So take your Etsy store, create the US only listings, and then go ahead and connect up to Teleport. And whenever one of those US listings is ordered, we can print it and ship it straight to your customer for you. And then you don't have tariff fees and the parts still arrive in like 3 or 4 days. So you can get that 30% of revenue back. Like, this is really important. Make sure you should connect to Teleport. Reach out to us, email support@slant3d.com or something, and we'll help get you set up. Because if you lost 30% of your sales, you can get that back with literally the flip of a switch right now. So do that. Windsor, Ontario, Buffalo. What's the 3D printing Reddit again? It is our 3D print entrepreneurs. Okay. Finland, Turkey, Estonia. Ooh, a lot of EU adjacent folks. A lot of that area of Europe, the continent of Europe. Germany, 8 p.m. Okay. Yeah, we talked on Instagram shortly a few days. I'm trying it with my smaller shop, but we want to grow in EU first, and handling hundreds of 3D files now with Teleport would be a mess. Well, it shouldn't be a mess. There's pretty good organization inside of Teleport. If you have an Etsy store, literally today also, we pushed an update to where you can import all of your listings into Teleport and then match directly to those listings. So it should be pretty darn easy to get moved over. I recommend ping us again, because, again, you lost 30% of your sales. You can get those back instantly. And yeah, managing the files should be better now. And if there's a particular thing that you need, let me know, and we can we'll just push an update for you. Every 3D printing knows Slant 3D when next TED Talk for the 20th century. Oh, when's my next TED Talk? I don't know if I'm going to ever do a TED Talk again. I've done 2 TED Talks, TEDx Talks technically, but I went, the first one I did in college and was about product design. And I think I disagree with myself from back then around problem solution design. And then my second one was about mass production 3D printing, which I did in 2018. It was like early days of Slant 3D. And yeah, many of you will have probably seen that TED Talk. But I give a TED Talk every day. This is a TED Talk. I have a YouTube channel now. I don't need to give a TED Talk. What are they going to do? They're going to give me more reach? I have 300,000 people who watch our content across platforms or so. What's TED Talk going to do? They ain't that big anymore. But who cares? I'm here supposed to be helping you guys. Hey there. Here I am asking you. What's up, Kundan Kumar? What are you asking me? Is it possible to upload models to catalogs? Yeah. Should be possible as of today. We're pushing the update today, so that should be out and about here any moment. Actually, let me check my email. The guys are doing the deploy on it, so I will do a checker there. I should have a notification inside of my inbox that says, yeah, all good to go. It's amazing. Look at it go. But yes, by end of today, you'll definitely be able to submit stuff catalog. Oh, the guys are doing some final tests on it. Yeah, by end of today, you'll be able to submit files to catalog. They all require manual review. So every file that is submitted, our editing team is going to look at and approve for manufacturability and usefulness and other things. So we are not going to guarantee that every file submitted to catalog is going to go in. Any recommendations before somebody uploads to it? Make sure it's manufacturable. Make sure it's a useful, good product. Catalog is not a dumping ground to try to get files out there. We're going to be super picky. So make sure they're good ones. Otherwise, they're not going to make it in. And you keep this live up for a little bit. I'm at work, but I want to watch still. Yeah, you know, said this live goes for an hour, generally. I may have to stop a little bit early because we got a bunch of work to get done today. But this is the lunch hour. I sent LTD a merch message on Friday from buying a hoodie lot. I asked if they would allow collab with you for some sort of print farm tour, and they said they are always happy to collaborate. Oh, was it Linus or was it Linus or Luke during WAN show there? Awesome, thanks, TFMG. Thank you so much. I didn't watch the WAN show last Friday. I need to go in and look at. Do you have any idea what timestamp it was? And I can just like call out down in the comments, like, "Hey, this is what that was about." Shoot. Oh man, I should have watched WAN show last week. Last week was weird. We were doing a whole bunch of stuff. Who do you contact if you have an issue with the Tangled order? I'm right here. What's up? If your order, you can message refund inside of Tangled and you'll get an instant refund if there's an issue with it. If it's not printing correctly, make sure your temp is high enough because Tangled prints at 260. So print hot and then go hotter. If those are the two issues that you have, those are the only issues that I know of people having. People generally run Tangled way too cold and then it'll jam a machine until you heat it back up again. If the order is tardy, 1 kg spools are a little bit behind. And we're dealing with the launch of all the rest of it. I'll find the time step. It was Dan who replied. Oh, Dan, sweet. Ah, well, does Dan have the power? Dan has a lot of power. Yeah. I wonder if he meant by like a sponsorship because we can't afford to sponsor LTT to come down and tour our factory. We don't have that kind of money laying around. We can't afford Linus. It's really weird to eat spaghetti right here on a live stream. This was probably a mistake. I'm sorry about this, guys. This did not seem very professional to me. LTT has a printables? Do they have a printables? For reals? Would metal 3D printing at least replace the specific part manufacturing compared to traditional manufacturing? What would be your opinion? If you're having to design the part to be remade and it's a spare part, just go with traditional because that's how it's designed. There's no reason to print it, especially in metal. Metal printing isn't much more affordable than machining. Yeah. The other day, you advised not to print in white because it can leave a discolored first layer. What is the first layer? What is the first color you print in that you would recommend? Black. Light. When I say white, I mean all light colors. All light colors are more expensive to produce with because they can be stained. Black cannot be stained. So if you can, use black whenever you can. Thanks for the design tips. I always think I'm done with a model till I see something to incorporate via your suggestion. Oh, sweet. Thanks, Adam. Yeah, we the video this last weekend where we did the injection mold. Is that one around? Oh no, the guys took it to film part 2 of the video. That molding versus 3D printing video had a really good response. So thank you all for watching that. But yeah, we're gonna do more. We're trying to find more stuff like that. But like finding injection molded parts, everything is. And a lot of our past videos are about it too. So I was like, Yeah, marble is a really good color. That's a good way of doing it too. Marble, mattes, those are all fine. You lose layer adhesion, but it's all right. Yeah, if you're going for cosmetic stuff, just print with matte colored filaments, and avoid light colors because light colors are what cause all the problems. I have an order from 1/26 for 30 rolls that is not shipped yet. Oh no, VDK printing, it's in transit to you. I know which one this was because you talked to me previously. It's in transit to you, but it's on a pallet, so there won't be any tracking number for it. I would imagine it's going to show up any day now because it was shipped last week on like Monday or Tuesday. So it's in transit to you. But for everybody else's context, it was 100 kilograms of material, so it went onto a pallet. So it'll show up when it shows up. But when you ship via freight, there's not really tracking information on it because it's just LTL. And they're like, well, it's on a truck and it's headed towards you. But yeah, it's heading towards you. Do you have a book on where we can learn to become a billionaire like you? I'm not a billionaire, so I'd be a terrible person to write that book. And I give advice, but I'm not sure if I should write it down because I'm not sure if I am justifiably qualified to do it. Go listen to an Elon Musk interview or a Bezos interview. There's better stuff over there, and most of it, my concepts I stole from them. Okay, what else here? How about robot arms as part of automation processes? Did you try? Yeah. If you check our past videos, you can see one of our robots wandering around, moving stuff around. And we recently showed a video of one of our robot arms doing videos. So we use robot arms mainly for post-processing, but it's only for mass production jobs because that's how you can find a repeatable process for them all. Can your Shopify store survive using just organic traffic, or do you eventually need to do Facebook ads to scale it more? You always have to buy ads eventually to scale it more because organic traffic is only when people are interested in it or when the thing presents it. Ads lets you force traffic earlier. So organic will take you to a certain point, but organic doesn't guarantee views. Paid ads guarantee views. But as far as if your store can survive or not, that depends entirely upon what the levels are. Do you think annealing printed parts is necessary? PA6 CF. Annealing PA6 isn't a thing. You can only anneal certain crystalline polymers, like versions of PLA can be annealed. Annealing PA6 won't do anything. The one thing that annealing can do is with high warp material, it can release some of those strains inside of it because it'll all get up to temp and then all resettle without having like a cold layer on top of a hot layer. But generally, I am not a personal fan of annealing. It's an additional process that shouldn't be there because the part should have been designed correctly. Yeah, Linus is expensive. On the latest live stream, I gave it a shot, and you probably don't even need to sponsor them because they have collabed with companies for free. Oh, sick. When have they collabed with companies for free? In the last 5 years. Because I gotta mark this timestamp. Okay, so 24:30 is when that comment went by because I'm gonna have to look at this live stream recording later. And it was 1.05.34. I was in their ways. They've been rolling for an hour. Thanks, man. Thanks, TFMG. Yeah, it'd be sick if they did it. It'd be cool to have them come down to the factory. Though it's always weird. We've talked to a few folks about doing filming in the factory before, and the issue that we always have is like we're like, well, we got to shut down production for the whole day, otherwise we're showing off people's products in the factory, and we can't do that. Like we protect people's product designs like the devil, and that's a terrible analogy. We protect people's product designs with our lives. But the issue is that you end up filming in certain areas, and you can't film in the whole place. Otherwise, we would show off a defense project or something. So it's tough to film in the factory. I would rather do like a collab where like we design a whole bunch of cool merch, and then Linus sits down for like 15 minutes, does a review of it, and then walks out. And it wouldn't be short circuit. I don't know where they'd stick it. They could put it on float plane for all I care. But see if we could make a 3D printed product that Linus would like. I think that'd be a cool video. And we may do that. I don't know. Yeah. We had an idea for a video that was pretty nifty that we might get done. Yeah. I'm not sure yet. What company are your Axis arms? Fanuc? I learned to program there a year ago in community college. It was pretty fun. Oh, no. Our arms. What are our arms? I actually don't think the company that made our arms still exists because I bought them at auction. It wasn't Fanuc. They weren't that old. They're a collaborative robot arm. They're really similar to the UR Universal Robot Arms, but they're effectively a knockoff. I can't remember the brand name right now. Hey, man. Hey, Mohammed. First year. Congratulations. Mechatronics. That's a good one. I'm currently in an internship at a big 3D printing service provider here in my town. And your videos helped me a lot, especially how to orient files for 3D printing. Oh, good. Yeah, orientation is like half the battle. Yeah, if we could get a product on LTT Store, that'd be sick. That'd be like the win. How difficult is it to connect to Amazon to teleport? 5 minutes, 10 minutes, something like that. So really easy. A teleport connects to every e-commerce store, and it takes literally 5 minutes for all of them. You go ahead. There is, it takes 5 minutes for all of them. You get all set up. You can plug into like Shippo, and then, get into Shippo, and then you say inside of Shippo, you say Amazon, and it's connected after you approve it from Amazon, and that's all you got to do. Designs in post-production, the factory tour would become work if you did that. We did that as an April Fool's joke like a couple of years ago. We just blurred out everything. But the problem is you blur out everything. So there's nothing to show if you're blurring everything. Because there's no way to like retain the factory but blur out all the products inside of it. It just turns into a big old blur. But we have done multiple factory tours. Like there is one where we show the full process, like how parts are made in a giant 3D printing farm. I think that's the video title. It's a black and white video where we showed everything, all the steps throughout. We have shown the whole building from when we moved into it. We showed moving in machinery when we moved into it. This is all 3 years ago, so it's pretty out of date from the mechanics side of it all, but you get the point. And then I have live streamed in the aisles multiple times in order to live stream at times when we didn't have sensitive parts on there and at an angle where people cannot see any parts on the machines. So yeah. There's been plenty of showing off how big the factory is. Like the main mega farm is spec'd out for 3,000 machines. It's 15,000 feet, give or take. It used to be a train factory. So we used to have 3 big locomotives parked inside of here, locomotive engines that were be welded on all day long. And then we took it over, and we have been scraping grime off the wall ever since. How much bed spacing do you recommend for parts? Maximum of 4 or 5 parts on a print bed, and you can space them as much as you want. Do not batch parts on a print bed. There should be one part on a print bed. Do one part on a print bed. Do not put a bunch of parts on a print bed. That's bad. One part on a print bed. One part on a print bed. That's good. Oh, hey, C. Ferraris. Thank you. Glad the videos have been helpful in growing your business. What else, folks? What else you got? Help on teleport, submitting files, design of files, design of new products. I'm excited for content over the next month or so. We've got good videos. This morning I've been filming all morning long. We've got a bunch of good videos coming out, and they're really good videos. They show off 3D printing. They're real products. They're all this stuff. It's good. Hey, MST Gaming. Can't help the video quality. It looks fantastic right here. YouTube is the one running it all. Our internet connection is fine. Why is it bad to have more than one part? Parts should never be bashed on a print bed, because if one part goes bad, it takes all the rest of them with it. And then if you need to change print settings or adjust one single part, then you have to edit an entire STL or cut that part out of the rest of the STL that contains all the other pieces. You never want to have multiple parts on a print bed, because you just end up with all this interdependency that is completely not necessary. And if you're on one part, that one part can have everything working for that one part. If you put two parts on the print bed, now you have to make everything work for two parts that have different requirements for each one of them. Do not batch. Batching, bad. I created a collection of flat chess pieces. All 16 are on one print bed, dual color, maximum height, 4mm max and 6mm, just over 2-inch max height, 9 centimeters, just under 4-inch. Yeah, that sounds terrible, Lubra. For a chess set, I get that, because you're doing multicolor, and then at least you can try to get all the white done in one layer, so it kind of works, as opposed to having it on a single part. But yeah, collecting all that stuff in production, you do not want it. Mass production, in mass production, we will not accept a batch part. You can do it inside a teleport, but if somebody says, I need 10,000 of these parts, so how many are you going to put on a print bed? I'm like, 1. Because we need each machine to be able to knock these out. And if a machine goes wrong, I don't need it to take all the other pieces with it. It wastes material, it wastes time, it wastes everything. So yeah, 1 part on a print bed. Chess pieces for a training board. A large group which is mounted to a wall. Oh, that's cool. Oh yeah, wall-mounted training boards. How long do those sessions go? How long? Like in a group, I've never gone to a group chess training. How is it? 2 hours? It drives people crazy when they play chess with me. When I play chess, my brother and I play chess on the regular fairly. He's a better chess player than I am. I am a slow chess player, because I love looking at all the moves, but we got to put me on a clock. Otherwise, I'll stare at it for like 3 or 5 minutes. I got this move. I don't know if you'll take this. So yeah, 2 to 4 hours. Okay, that sounds about right. That makes sense. You guys use the printer to cool down, hit, and detach the print, right? What if you have a high surface contact part that won't pop out? So auto ejection, yeah, we invented auto ejection back in 2018. and integrated it into our machines. But the auto ejection is only partially due to the printer head itself and like that injection motion. It's partially intelligence, but it's also partially material. So when you're doing auto ejection, you select the type of print bed that works for the particular type of material, and that way it'll always work. Because if you look like the automation systems right now that people have out there, so like Farm Loop or those kinds of add-ons, they work fine for PLA because PLA will pop off of any cool print bed. But as soon as you change to any other material, then it doesn't work anymore. In order to have a universal print ejection system, you have to basically change out what material is being printed on so that it has the dynamics that you need in relation to the material that you're printing with. Is there a sale number point where third-party parts could be incorporated into portals that you don't already have available? Third-party parts are already inside of portals. But if you want another third-party part, all you have to do is ask us. And if you sold a couple, we'll probably just turn it on for you. Like with third-party parts, we're really loose about it. We don't really have a sales minimum on that. If you want a new material anywhere else, you got to hit like 10 kilograms worth of use per month or so, and then we'll turn on any material you want, from carbon fiber nylon to freaking TPU. I don't care. So yeah. Mass production. I agree about printing multiple parts being risky. Yes. What is the average spend on a Facebook per day that is realistic to get results? So here is the layout for advertising on Facebook, as I'm aware. You need to spend about $1,000 to $2,000 in order to train the Facebook algorithm to show it to the right people. And then you have to run until you find out what your ROAS is and find out if you're talking to the right people. If the ROAS is too high, then you're talking to the wrong people, or you need to fix your listings. But it costs $1,000 to $2,000 to find out if your ads are talking to the right people. And then you will spend about 30%, 25 to 30% of your item price on advertising, minimum. If you're selling supplements, you will spend like 50 to 70% of your item price on advertising. So you sell supplements for $90, you spend $70 advertising it, and you make it for $5, and then you make $15. That's how that business works. How is the ad spend on Amazon? I have no idea, Rick. I don't. Yeah, Amazon's good because when you break loose, you can really break loose, and you're able to advertise on Amazon and force more views to your place. But I have no idea what like conversion rates are over there right now. You can also advertise. .com, and Walmart's been pushing on it. So I don't know. Some of these new platforms are all interesting. Live shopping is starting to take off. Whatnot is good. There's all kinds of places to do this. In catalogs with different parts to a single item to be grouped together, no more than 5 parts on a bill plate. If you have multiple large items that are going into a single catalog item, just name them that. Just right, left, that kind of stuff. Because the catalog files, as the designer, if you want people to use your catalog files, you're going to need to be able to provide them some resources to go along with them. So like product photography or instructions about how to have them assembled so the person can include that when they sell the item for you. So designers within catalog are going to have to learn that the file is not just the file. Like the product design is a part of it, but then the catalog designers with the most success will be the ones that give additional resources like photos and here's a product description and all that kind of stuff that people can download from their website or something too, so that people can find the files inside a catalog and find those products that are available that they can start selling. But you as the designer need to recognize that you're creating these products for sellers. And that whatever you do to help those sellers will improve how many of your products they sell. Hey man, so I have a decent product, but it's in a niche market. So any tips on free advertising? Make 10 videos a day. Make 10 TikToks a day. That's my advice. That's free advertising. Go. There's no free lunch. So ASA would be possible. I would have some modern fence plugs size of a hand to print. Only thing is that it generated geometry with a custom program that gives STLs. Do you guys also do what the? Sorry. So ASA would be possible. Yes, we printed a lot of ASA. I would have some modern fence plugs sized of a hand to print with only thing. Any material is possible. You have to sell 10 kilograms of it per month in order to have it activated. So yeah, prove out the market that it's there so that we know it's worth having machines tied up with that material, and then we can roll from there. How or when do you decide to bring new filaments? When people ask for them with enough demand. So we will turn on any filament or any color when somebody dials us and says, hey, I need, I sell 10 kilograms of this per month. Can you turn on PCTG? We'll turn that on tomorrow. That's all it takes, is just to have existing kind of sales proof that it's useful. Because here's the thing, guys, we have to have some limit on it and some kind of proof in the pudding from the seller. Because if somebody says, I want chartreuse purple TPU, I'm like, and that guy wants brown, duck yellow, whatever it was, PLA. But neither one of you have ever sold a product or sold an item. But if you are an existing seller and you're wanting to use Teleport to scale up, just email us and we'll turn on the material for you if you have that proven demand. So it's like 100 orders per month or 10 kilograms per month, one of those two. We will also be adding into Teleport a little suggestion box next to the color selectors so that you can request additional colors. And then we'll set up kind of like a voting system of like, oh, 50 of our sellers have asked for the green TPU. Let's go ahead and add that in. So we'll go from there. But right now, you can email us whenever you want. If you have baseline supported demand, we will turn it on immediately. If it's a suggestion, you got to wait around until we get to that pile of the suggestion box. Etsy's starting there. What's the best way to get the algorithm to do its thing? Seems like it takes a lot of time to get people to buy. Any advice? Okay, Drylander. Everybody, if you're messing with the algorithm, your product's not good enough. The algorithms all want to show your item to a customer, but customers aren't interested, which means that either your listing or your product is not any good. So change something. If you're just sitting on your product waiting for a sale and you haven't gotten the sale after like a month on Etsy organically, you're not going to get a sale because your product isn't good enough or your listing isn't good enough. Find out which one of those it is and then fix it. Now, baseline good practices for selling on Etsy. Create 20 listings and then create 20 more and create 20 listings a week until you find the thing that sticks. And you'll know it. It'll drag you along. A good product will drag you along and it'll just get better. Hey, 3D keep printing. 3D keep printing. What's up? So yes, there's very often people come to these chats around Etsy and that kind of stuff and like, oh, Etsy is such an easy way to make money. And like, no, it's not. You're starting a business. Even if it's a side hustle, you're going to have to work at it. It doesn't happen because you uploaded a listing or uploaded a file. You're going to have to work at it. And it's going to suck and it's going to be miserable and you're probably not going to get any sales, but you have to work at it. No one became a professional athlete by saying, I'm a professional athlete now. Look, I have a jersey. That's ridiculous. You got to go to the gym. You got to go throw the ball. You got to go try some stuff. You got to go apply to the teams. You got to go play ball someplace, any place for free. You'll be losing money on it. You won't get paid at all to play ball for a bit. And then finally, somebody might actually buy your thing. Should I get a Bamboo or an A1 Mini? I'm not a person to recommend printers. I don't recommend printers. Pick the printer that works for you. What do you want to make? What printer is able to make that? Use that printer. What is written on the page in front of you? Notes for a script. Here, everybody can screen cap this real fast. Ha! I don't think you can screen cap that. You know the 2 videos coming out over the next 2 weeks, because these were notes on improvements to the script of those videos. I realize I probably shouldn't have them there anymore, but now you guys can roll back and see if you can read what was on the script. It's not the script, it's just notes. But, and I'll bet no one can read my handwriting. Oh, thanks, Project Arglos. Thanks for the follow. Let's see here. Designer burnout, but you know what now? Adam Carver, designer burnout. Don't talk to me about burnout. I've been burnout for the last year. It's really interesting. I did burnout like last Christmas. In January, I completely flamed out. And that stuck with me for a good majority of last year or so. I got a decent amount of it back over like the last couple of months, but I'm still only about 85-90% of where I was November before last. And it hasn't come back. Running down into burnout, the really high sustained cortisol levels. I was stupid stressed out for about 6 to 8 weeks or so. Christmas before last, and that's what came to it, because when we finished up with Christmas, I literally just like collapsed in exhaustion. And collapsed is not the wrong word. That is what happened. I disappeared and I fell off the planet, and I just slept for like 3 days continuously. It was a categorically clinical textbook burnout. And then that relapse put me in a spot where creatively, operationally, I was way slower than I normally was. My memory was worse. Everything was bad. Holding multiple stuff at a time, which am historically very good at. I couldn't do very well. I was forgetting people's names. It was really bad. Burnout, created by high cortisol levels in your body, which is just sustained presence of that stress hormone, takes your body almost into like an autoimmune response, to where it just shuts down certain functionalities in order for survival. And in order to get back out of that, it's pause, it's rest, it's all the things to make yourself feel sane, but you literally do like singe the nerve endings a little bit with all that cortisol. So it is literally burnout in a certain sort of way. But when it becomes like an autoimmune disease, you have to like flip a switch and do like a bodily reset, to where you just change your chemical composition in such a radical way that you get out of that burnout stage. So for me, it has been a change in sleep patterns, a change in workout activity, and messing with a change of diet, to where it was possible to get around it. So I used to be a night owl. My day used to start at 7 p.m. And I was like, great, I got 5 to 6 hours of good solid work in front of me. And I would go until 1 or 2 in the morning. After my burnout, I couldn't do that anymore. I'd be done and I'd be tired at 5 or 6 p.m. at the end of the day. And then I just futz around and then go to bed. So in order to deal with that, I go to bed early now. And then I wake up at like 5 or 4. And then I do more stuff when my energy levels are high. So now I just restructure my day a little bit. And that was one of the things that I did. So changing my sleep schedule changed my brain to where that helped break some stuff out. And then, just working out is huge for energy management and for getting all that crap out of you so that it can't accumulate. What makes sense? How do sellers jump to that scale? Scale. All my business has gone through Slant 3D All my business has gone through Slant 3D from the beginning. 700 units this month, but sounds like I will need to find some smaller printers before scale. What do you mean, Jeffrey? Oh, Jeffrey. I'm sorry. I didn't connect that right at the moment. No, I know who you are. You're an established seller. You have a proven track record, so we're willing to do more for you very often if you have a proven track record. So yeah, like that, we would be more open to adding in stuff for somebody who's an established seller because it helps you grow, and we know you know how to grow. So that helps a bunch. So, and I know you're asking about PCTG. In all fairness, a bunch of people are asking about PCTG. We should have it coming out here fairly soon. But yeah, the generic response for new materials is like have the demand or something else. But that's for like rainbow, purple chartreuse TPU or something. For black PCTG will be coming online here probably pretty soon. Yeah. And remember, we only have one health. Don't mess with it. We all only get to live for 80 years. The difference between 70 years or 80 years is really not that big of a deal. So it depends on how effectively your time is being used. In my, like I am a 6'4" guy. I know I'm going to die of a heart attack earlier than most people. Tall people live less long than short people. So if I add a little bit more stuff to it, who cares? Alrighty, what else, guys? We probably got about 5 or 10 more minutes here before I got to wrap up. Any other questions? As a startup founder and someone with autoimmune disease, chronic illness, I feel for you. Got to take care of the mind, body, for yourself and for the business. Either run well when you don't. Yeah, no, yeah, you have to maintain yourself in order to be effective on any given day. Because if you're only half present on any given day, it's like sleep. People will be like, I slept 2 hours last night. I'm like, yeah, feels like it today because you're totally useless. There's, by the way, this does not apply to people in their 20s. When you're in your 20s, do whatever you want to do. And you should work 24 hours straight or 48 hours straight and blow yourself up and then go sleep 2 hours and take 2 Red Bulls and go do something. That means you're doing something useful. Once you get into your 30s, you learn to energy manage more, and hopefully you're wise enough then at that point to know where to put energy. When you're in your 20s, you can use and trade your health in a certain way to learn what is and is not important. Because when you're young, you think everything is important, and it's not. And when you get older, you have less energy, but you also know what is important. So you can just put energy towards the stuff that is important. Let's see, $5 a day limit. Ran my first ad and got a sell of a click. A sell of a click? Did you sell the item or did you get a click? Let's see, $5 a day limit. If you sold an item for $5 a day and you just sold the item, you need to double your budget. Go to 10, go to 25, keep on raising it until it stops working, until you hit a ROAS of less than 2. Go. Here in Brazil, all PETG is cheaper than PLA, but I don't understand why, because PETG is much strength. Product functionality has nothing to do with product cost. PETG is way lower raw material cost than PLA. What else, folks? Oh, excuse me. Do you follow the Olympic Winter Games? Not so far. I have not. That's right. There were the opening ceremonies this weekend. I haven't followed them yet. I'm not a big luge fan. What is one of the Winter Olympic sports that I would watch? Skiing. I'd watch some of the skiing. Snowboarding. I'd watch some of the snowboarding, but those are like things that I do. So like I have a relationship to them. The indoor stuff, like racing skaters, speed skating. It's boring, but most races are boring. I don't watch relays either. But like, I don't know, maybe the skater's just more boring than running. It shouldn't be, but it feels like it. I don't know. I want to do a solo startup idea, like to make software or something. Can you guide me? No, because you haven't started. You have to create something if you want guidance. Start. That's my rule. Like, if you're like, oh, what should I do? What idea should I do? Or whatever else it was. No, I don't help with that. You have to get started on a thing that you like, care about, or have stuff. If you're like, I just want to start a company, I don't help with that. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be like bashing on you on this thing, but like I just don't help with that because you haven't done anything. There's no useful advice I can give you except go start something. Find a problem to solve and start solving it. And then when you run into the problems within making that happen, that is stuff that I can help with. I have no way, I am not a motivational person who is going to say, oh, you should go start a company. No. If you can't get yourself to go start a company and come up with an idea, nothing I say is going to help you. And if I was a motivational person who I was like, yeah, go start a company, you would fail. Because if you had that impetus from me, then you won't have enough inner core heart to survive how difficult it's going to be to start a business. So you probably shouldn't start. If you can't start on your own, you shouldn't start. That's just what it is. Suggestion to create the most cost-efficient, transparent bin for small parts. Goal to print multiple bins where I can see the parts. You can't really get transparency with printing. You can use ClearPet-G and jack up the temperature really high, but it won't be very transparent. You can go bend some clear PVC or polycarbonate. Yeah, heat it up with a hot rod and bend it into whatever shape you want, and then you can get something transparent there. Or you can 3D print a part with like a window that you drop in. That's a good one. Is chat AI good to recommend tags for an Etsy? Yeah, that's a good way. Okay. Alrighty, guys, I think that's about time. I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you all so much for watching. We're trying to do these streams semi-daily. We're going to, semi-daily. We'll, this week probably won't be every single day. I'm going to imagine that I'll probably have to circle back around on like Thursday. And then we'll do Thursday, Friday, and Sunday will be the ones that I think will definitely be here this week. But beyond that, it'll just be regular streams. But alrighty, see y'all later. I'll get y'all shut down. If anybody can get a last question in, I can do a real quick one. Okay, nothing there. Okay, and then see y'all. See you, Lumber. See you, Rick.